Hi everybody, thank you guys so much for being here. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I usually do celebrity psychic readings on my channel. Sometimes we talk about rituals for self-love, stuff like that, candles. You guys know I love candles. Um, and yeah, so I wanted to come on here today. I really didn't know what to offer everybody with everything going on with George Floyd and everything, and I know I didn't want to do a reading on the subject because I didn't want to watch the video. I didn't really want to open up my energy um, to the collective darkness, the collective consciousness around what's going on today and the quarantine and everything that's just so dense. And I just didn't have it in me to go on with doing a reading on him. And I mean, obviously, like, everybody's putting their pictures on Instagram and like I see it and I know, but it's just when I start talking about it, then more information just comes through and it's just very draining on me. So maybe one day I will do a reading on the situation and everything, but I don't see this happening anytime soon. So I did want to offer something, and um, I was feeling guilty about it that I've taken time off. Um, and I see other healers, my mentors, that are working twice as hard, and I just can't keep up. So, personally, that's given me some guilt about everything that's been going on for the past 2 months. But I did want to offer you some information on what we can do. So, this is going to be geared towards people that come from a lineage that has been very oppressed, that has gone through suffering, slavery, torture, um, throughout generations. And we see it with Native Americans, we see it with African Americans, we see it with people from, Latin America, especially, all of us, honestly, where we've been used as slaves. A lot of us, would have come from backgrounds that were, and I'm just going to say it plainly, were witches and pagans, and we come from witch bloodlines. So I just want to put that out there, and some of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video are specifically from me, from my past, and from what I've had my conversations with mentors and my healers about. If you guys don't know, I'm, Peruvian American. My ancestors are from Peru. I do come from a witch bloodline. I'm not a witch. I don't really like labels, but I know that they were, and I've always known that they were. So I just want to put that out there first. What I wanted to say with that is the significance of that is because when I was doing a reading, and I wasn't really consciously doing this reading on George Floyd, like I said, I didn't want to get too into it, but I did see that his family, his lineage, they put a picture up of his mother. I did see that he kind of came from a witch bloodline as well. So I wanted to just talk about this because it's something that, not a lot of people know. Spiritual knowledge is power. It's honestly the greatest power that we can have. We have to fix what's within before we can fix everything around us, Like I always say, people that live their lives and they're very messy and they're chaotic, and I hate clutter. But people that have a lot of clutter and a lot of clutter in their life, they oftentimes, that reflects on what's going on in their actual life. So in order to see what's cluttering our lives, our inner self, we have to go back to our ancestors, and we have to go back to where this really all started from. There's no running away from that. We may think that we're born and we're here as one person, as an individual, and although that might be true, we're still carrying on karma and generational hexes and curses within our bloodline, especially if we come from a bloodline that is magical in any way, or would have ever dealt with, magic, or, especially if we come from a bloodline that has been oppressed and has been put as slaves and has been put, through a lot of tragedy and a lot of suffering. It just stays with us. So I just wanted to give you guys some knowledge, little bits and pieces of how we can heal this and we can move forward from it. And I want to say that not all magic is bad magic. You know, lighting a candle, like a white candle, and just speaking to God or anything, I don't find anything wrong with that. Some people may disagree. I personally have grown up Catholic. I never really found anything wrong with lighting a candle. You don't have to be, you know, a witch to do this or anything, but I do think it helps, and I'm going to give you practical matters of how I handle these things and what I do in order to heal my lineage and heal karma and heal generational hexes and curses, because trust me, I have a lot. I've had a lot in my lineage and my, you know, everything. I'm not the only psychic in my family, guys. There's more like me. There's a lot of psychics in my family. So I wanted to just see who could relate to this. And I feel like a lot of people on my channel will, my clients will. I have these conversations with my clients all the time. It really does start with not fixing them, but just clearing them, clearing the karma, clearing the hexes, clearing the negative stagnant energy that doesn't die when they die. It stays with us, it stays in our DNA. And I know that this isn't something that people would tell you every day. You go to the doctor and they give you something and then it's fine. It's not knowledge that's really accessible to us, but it just makes you all the more powerful if you know about it and you know how to fix it and you know how to deal with it and live with it. It gets you out of stagnation. It gets you out of bad financial luck. I could have used a better word for that, but staying in a poverty mindset or whatever. These are things that are patterns. Like for instance, one pattern that was very predominant in my family is somebody would get married, a woman in my family would get married, and then they'd find out later, a year later, 2 years later, that the guy had a whole other family on the side. This is something that just happened within my lineage. For most people, it could be financial, you know, being in a poverty mindset, never being able to be successful in their business. This is a blockage. Now, this blockage may have very well come from yourself, but more times than not, your family, your ancestral, your lineage has a lot to do with the fact that you're blocked for money. Maybe this is a pattern that started hundreds of years ago, but it's still been passed down to you. It's not something you need to, you know, do a whole ritual or a whole spell to get out of. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. It does work fast, but some people say that they would rather go other routes rather than doing something like Reiki. I love Reiki. I've been doing Reiki for years. I think this is a really good way to clear karma, to clear cords. And I'll talk about cords and all that stuff in another video. This is a very loaded topic, guys, and I don't want to make it too long because I can sit here and talk. But this ancestral karma, we just hold on to it and it's baggage and we don't really need it. And the reason that it's been given to us is to be cleared. Our ancestors may have passed away. The people, our parents, our grandparents. Remember, going back in time, they're on a very low vibration. Back in the 50s, they were on like a second density, the mindset that was going on, the oppression of women, you know. We're still noticing the oppression of people of color today, of course. It's hidden, well, not hidden as much anymore, but it's still going on, and we're still not on a high density. And who knows if we'll ever be in this world. But what we can do is fix our lives, fix the way that we handle our karma and our lineage's karma, and get our family, our future families from the next generations out of this. Because once you cut the cords with your generational hexes, your curses, patterns, they don't follow into the next generation. You cut that off, and then the people that come after you, they all have free will. They're not trapped into this anymore. So by healing yourself, you're healing all the rest of your bloodline that comes after you. And for some people, it could be as easy as doing hypnosis once. It could be as easy as just being disciplined with yourself enough to work hard at it every day. I do find though, if you try and work at these things by yourself without any extra help, without having a therapist or a Reiki master, or doing that ritual work on the side, it is going to take a little longer and it is going to be a little more draining. I've tried it myself. It's hard to get out of these mindsets without extra aid. We're kind of stuck when we come into a mindset, and of course we evolve, and sometimes these things do happen simultaneously. You know, we break free of our parents' expectations, our family's expectations, what they think we should be doing, and we break free of that and we leave and we, move on, and our mindset changes, and then that's a shift right there. So shifts like that do happen naturally, and they do, wipe out generational patterns. If you do want to get out of these generational patterns and live a longer life of happiness, I do recommend doing the work early, but I don't recommend overloading yourself with it. Being on a spiritual journey isn't always about, okay, well, I'm supposed to be doing this and this, and then it's all a big rush. And I feel like a lot of people that get into this early, when they're first getting into it, they may look at this and say, oh my gosh, I have a lot of problems. There's this, and that. And I feel like that's kind of a boggling mindset to have. Things take time. Karmic lessons take time. Generational hexes, generational curses, they're all tied into karma. And karma takes time, and karma is completed when it's ready to be completed. You can't rush it. It's a process that can't be rushed. There's things you could do to aid it, but you can't exactly rush it. If we sit in denial, if we sit and be blind, if we sit and don't acknowledge what's going on around us, that's when we become stuck. So, what's keeping you from being stuck is the acknowledgement. It's not about how fast can I get rid of these generational hexes, curses, whatever. It's how long are you going to stay in denial about what's going on? How long are you going to stay in denial about there being a problem here? There's being a recurring pattern, a theme that keeps going on in your life. Or maybe it's not just your life, maybe it's your other family's lives. It's all interconnected, especially with generations and bloodlines. Being the one to break free of this breaks your whole family free of this. And it gives them more freedom to pick what they want in life. And it's a hard burden to bear when you are kind of the chosen one in the family to remove this karma. Like I said, not everybody in the family is going to do it. They are going to be in denial. They aren't going to go ahead and take that leap and really fix things for themselves and fix things in their lives. It usually is only one person that really takes charge. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge what's the truth and what's going on. In the most gentlest ways of healing ancestral karma is to light a white candle and ask for protection before you do anything, of course. Ask if you're Catholic, if you're Hindu, whatever you believe in, ask for protection, even if it's just from the earth or the spirits around you. Just make sure that nothing could come through that is not of pure love and light. And also, when you ask for this protection, ask your ancestors to come through as well, in order for you to truly ask them and to get an understanding of what needs to really be healed in your bloodline in order to remove stagnation, oppression, and anger and negative emotions, because negative emotions are also something that comes within our generational background. Especially for my friends who are from a culture that has been very oppressed. A lot of negative emotions come from our family. Shame, guilt, a lot. And it's not just people who are oppressed, it's also other people that have been in situations where maybe they weren't supposed to get pregnant, whatever the case may be. Healing is there. The earth is there to help us. The earth is there to heal us. So my go-to would always be lighting a white candle and asking for guidance and asking for healing, because healing is the only answer to getting rid of generational karma and negative patterns. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys want a reading of your own, I put everything down below. And you can email me, you can DM me. I have all my testimonials on Instagram. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye.